Welcome back to another Matty Ice Reviews. This is going to be a how-to. Lately, there's been a lot of news about the coronavirus and what implications it might have on your life. Are you going to have to be quarantined at some point? Do you have to worry about friends and family getting sick? There's a lot of things, and it's scary. And I guess more or less it makes you think about, am I ready for something like this that could cause me to have to leave my home for a period of time or possibly be stuck at home for a period of time? Well, the answer is no. No one's ever prepared for that situation 100%. But there are some things you can do to help kind of get you in the mindset of being prepared and trying to arrange things ahead of time that might help with the situation. So what I'm doing is going to show you how to craft a they call it a survival kit or a bug out kit. We are going to be putting our survival kit in. This is a waterproof IPX6 tested case. This is also, it has a little gear divider area in it. This is marketed towards people who want to go into camping or kayaking, canoeing, and have a watertight box. But this is their large version, and it is fairly big. I mean, this is probably about 10 inches across and 6-7 this way. And it's a nice hard plastic. It's got these shock absorbers on the outside and it's hinged. And when you open it up, it's got a little gasket around the edges right here. That's what keeps the water out. So this is step one. We've got ourselves a vessel to put something in. I do recommend a hard case. And then you can just use a backpack or something like that, or a waterproof pack even would be nice, but pretty much anything. So you have these all together. There's nothing worse than needing something and not knowing where it is. So all of our stuff will be going into here. Okay, so what are we putting in this that's going to help us out in an emergency or survival situation? We've got several things in here. Let's start first with something that I think is absolutely brilliant to keep. Waterproof ponchos. These are incredibly inexpensive and they're very versatile. You can buy these in a variety of colors. They're reusable to some extent, I guess, and they're just cheap and they don't take up a ton of room. And we don't need to keep them in these little cardboard boxes. They actually come, there's a little poncho, and then this little sleeve bag right here is actually just a tiny little Ziploc bag. And put them directly into our survival kit. And there it goes, fits right there in the corner. Next, something that's highly important. These are storm-proof matches. These little storm-proof matches come in this really nice case. So it's sealed, so it's watertight. Then when you take the top off, they've got some cotton absorption on there, and then these are the ones that are coated. Halfway down, it's orange, and there's a striped top. These won't go out in high wind or water situations, so if it's raining, there's a storm, you're not going to have to worry about having fire if you need it. And this little bit of cottonance in here is very flammable, and they also give you a replacement striker if the one on here should fail or get too wet. So very nice features. Next, we've got just some standard, this is what's called diamond braid utility line. It's just a polymer line. It's I think it's 45 feet. Yeah, it's 1/8 inch by 45 feet. It's polypropylene. So use this to tie things off, tie things down. Lots of uses for this, and this is fairly compact, but if you were concerned about size, you can always take this off, cut off what you would need, and then tie it up, or even just take it out of this plastic container it's on and actually just kind of like snake it around the box. We've got utility zip ties. These are just some 8-inch Hyper Tough brand, and they're a 50 count, and they claim that these will work anywhere between -40 all the way up to 185 degrees for the stuff to break down. Pretty good. Zip ties, lots of utility. You can use these to tie things down. You can use them in emergency situations as a kind of like a tourniquet, I guess, if you were super desperate. But nice thing to have around. We'll open them up and we'll put a couple in our box. We've got 10 right now, so I'm going to put 10 of these in the box, and they do fall in there very nicely. They line up right on the side. Purposely why I bought those and not the larger ones, because I didn't want the larger ones to be kind of like springing out all over the box. Next, This stuff is amazing. This is Gorilla Tape. Gorilla Tape is usually huge. I mean, it's like duct tape. It's a large roll, and duct tape is even very useful in a survival situation, but Gorilla Tape's even better. This stuff sticks to almost anything, and it doesn't matter if there's water outside or if it's high wind, and it's got a good amount of play to it. Duct tape, as you know, kind of like rips at a certain point, and water does affect duct tape, but not Gorilla Tape. So this stuff is kind of black, and this is the compact roll, and I thought, wow, that would be great to have in here. Something every survival kit needs, but it's kind of up to you what way you go with this. This is a Kershaw little pocket knife, and there's nothing fancy about it. It's just a folding blade. Its blade is very small. This is probably about 2 inches, maybe at the most, and it's a straight blade. And then it's got a couple of features though. This is a textured kind of like plastic grip on here, so it stays in your hand. It does have a little pocket clip that you can switch the sides if you wanted to. And it's got a bottle opener right here on this side. And then also this is a screwdriver tip. So if you wanted to, work on something, you could do that. I suppose you could also pry with this. Multiple uses. And some people might want like a Swiss Army knife. That would be a wonderful thing to add to one of these kits. They're nice and compact. I love this one because it's a very thin profile. It's lightweight. The blade is super sharp, and I think Kershaw makes a good product. So we are going to put in a Kershaw blade into this pack. And then last, for part 1, we are going to add in something that I don't see in a lot of these kits, and I get why you wouldn't add these, but I thought it was something nice to include in the kit that's a little morale boost, or if you wanted a little pop while you're going. It's something that maybe won't last a long time, might lead to some issues, but I picked up 2 king-sized Hershey's milk chocolate bars. These are the ones that have those little rectangles that you can break off and eat. If 2-3 years from now I decide I don't want the chocolate, oh well, I throw it away. It's a candy bar. They're $1. It's really not that big a waste. All right, guys, that does it for part 1. And just to show you, this thing closes, everything fits in there. We've got plenty of room still. I could rearrange this and probably do a little bit better. And we are going to be adding some more things. I think we're going to do a part 2 and maybe even a part 3. We'll see how it goes. But this was part 1 of Matty Ice's survival bug out kit. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Have a good night.